La fille nous a appelé en urgence et on l'a retrouvée inanimée.
Mais qu'est-ce qu'elle a?
Ça ressemble à quelque chose de toxique.
Les champignons. Ce qui est horrible, c'est que Valérie croit que j'ai vraiment voulu la tuer.
And that is a clip from When Autumn Falls, directed, produced, and co-written by our guest François Ozon. François, hello, bonjour, sir.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Ça va très bien. I'm fine.
And where do we find you today, François? Where are you?
I'm in my office. I'm working on my new project, a new film I will shoot in 2 weeks in Morocco.
Okay, which I want to ask you about at the end of our conversation. But your new film for us is When Autumn Falls. We just heard a clip from it. Can you introduce us to the story, please? Can you introduce us to When Autumn Falls?
It's the story of a woman, an old woman, a grandmother, who spends her retired life in the country, in the countryside, in Burgundy. In Burgundy, a place I loved as a child, where I spent many holidays. And this woman has many problems, toxic problems, with toxic relationship with her daughter, who is coming for the holidays, autumn holidays, to let her son for the holidays, and everything goes bad.
Yes, and you used the word toxic, which is a very interesting word. So we should say Michelle, who's the lady you're talking about, played by Alain Vincent, something of a legend in France. And at the beginning of the film, she goes out with her friend, Marie-Claude, played by Josiane Balasco, to harvest mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever, in my experience, whenever mushrooms are picked in a film, there is always trouble. Always trouble. So if you can tell us just a little bit of what happens after she has picked these mushrooms.
I think the relationship between a mother and daughter is very often poisoned relationship. And I had in mind for the start of the film an old memory of my childhood. My grand aunt picked up some mushrooms in the forest for a family dinner, and everybody was sick. Some of them finished at the hospital, except her, because she didn't eat. She just cooked but didn't eat. And I love this story as a child, because I had the feeling that maybe my grand aunt tried to kill all the family. And as a perverse child who will become a director, it was a great inspiration.
Yes. And it's all, the mushroom is an interesting metaphor for, as you go through the film, what is below the surface. You know, you think everything is okay, and then you realize it isn't. And I was particularly intrigued because you think you know which way the film is going, and then Michelle, Alain Vincent, seems to, even though the police are saying it's okay, this thing happens, she seems to wonder herself whether it was an accident or not. So what's going on there?
It's a good question. I wanted to show a woman who knows she doesn't have so many years to live anymore, and she wants to take benefit of the last years of her life. And she's very pragmatic. You know, she prefers to see the reality she wants, and she prefers to hide some elements of her life, and maybe dark elements. And she put all the dust under the carpet. And what is important for her is to have a good time with her grandson she loves. And it's the opposite of her best friend, Marie-Claude, who feels guilty of the situation, feels guilty about her son. Michelle is very strong. She can be a monster, but at the same time, she wants to survive, and her life was not so easy. So she wants to take a good time with the last years of her life.
There is, and I don't want to give too much away. People will need to see this film, to see it in all its glory. And Autumn in Burgundy does look particularly magnificent. There is a mysterious death that happens relatively early on in the story, and you clearly made the decision, François, to leave things unexplained. The feeling that, and the characters in your film seem to think that it's better not to know some things. Lies are easier than the truth.
Yes, I think it was something I decided during the process of writing the script. I didn't want to show everything. I wanted to let some holes in the film and let the audience think what they want and to imagine maybe something darker than what I project. I have, of course, as a script writer, everything in mind. I know exactly what happened, but I decided not to show everything, especially the scene on the balcony, because we are in the point of view of Michel. Michel was not there. So, you are like her. What happened? Do you want to know or not? And Michel decided not to know. She preferred to turn the page. And it's a new life which starts, even if it's after the death of someone. She wants to continue sa vie, to keep on living.